Hi, and welcome to the Adored Woman podcast. I am your host, Naomi Thompson. So, today we're going to talk about the 3 paths to love that don't work. These are paths that seem logical. They are the paths that we have been taught and trained will work to get us more love and devotion from a man, but they don't work. And then we're going to talk about the path that actually does work. And that is the real deal, is the thing that we need to create and attract and to remain in a juicy, wonderful, vibrant, loving, committed relationship. So the first path that many women try and go down to attract the love that they want is via the mind. Now, I know you'll have heard me speak about this before. However, it's really important to visit it again, is that we can have a great connection with a man. We can talk about things. We can debate about things. We can talk about great ideas. And I just want to say as well that these 3 routes to love that don't work, they are great things to have in a relationship. So they don't work to create that kind of fall in love with you forever, cherish you forever kind of love. But they are really wonderful aspects that we want to have in a relationship. So via the mind, like we're brought up in a masculine energy education system where we are praised for our thinking, for our achievements and for our grades and what we do well. We're told, aren't you a good girl? Aren't you helpful? You know, it's what we do and how we think and how we problem solve. So often we will come to a relationship thinking, if I just show him how clever I am, if I show him what great ideas I have, what a great problem solver I am. I mean, this is so much what I did. And I really learned not to kind of squash my intelligence. Absolutely not at all. You know, my partner loves my intelligence. And it's not about squashing it, but it's not letting it lead as a way to get love and approval and attention. And I thought that if I showed a man how smart I am, how clever I am, how good I am at solving problems, I would get more love and attention from him. Now, it's a great quality to have, to be great at solving problems. However, it is not a route to love that is going to work. And also with the intellect and great ideas. You know, you can have the best ideas in the world. You could be really well read. You could have 3 different degrees. But even with all of those accomplishments that make you an incredible, motivated, successful woman, they alone, without the 4th element, are not going to get you the love and the cherishing and the connection and the commitment from a really emotionally mature, solid man who's commitment minded, who really meets you. You're not going to get it from that alone. So the second element is the body. Now, we all know that men are aesthetic creatures, you know. For a man, you know, he first off sees how we look. It doesn't mean that you have to dress up to the nines on every date, but how we take care of how we look is so important. And the body, so how we look, yes, can attract a man, but it is not going to give us that wonderful connection and that commitment. So that can be our sexual energy and our sexual connection with a man. Great. And to be able to have a wonderful sexual connection with a man is a fantastic part of a relationship. But on its own, without the 4th element, it is never going to give you that relationship you want. So you can look sexy, you can take care of yourself, you can look great. And I recommend you do all of those things, but only because it feels good to you. Because it feels good to you, not because you want his approval. So if there's certain clothes you love wearing, if there is underwear you love wearing, if there is colors of makeup that you love wearing, then wear them. Wear them because you want to wear them, and notice if part of you's doing it to get approval from him. Now, there's real subtle differences, and it's not just approval, but more love from him. Like if I dress more like this, then I may get him to take me out more, to commit to me. So just notice if you are wearing things and just displaying your body to get something from him. Now, of course, it's wonderful to take care of yourself and show up to your man looking your best. Of course, we want a man to feel proud to be out with us, just like you want to feel proud to be out with him when he looks great. But there's a real subtle difference between just doing it because it feels good and doing it because you want something from him. The third path to love that doesn't work is the spirit. So we've got the mind, we've got the body, and we've got the spirit, the spiritual connection. You could have a shared religious or spiritual faith with him. Maybe you meditate together. Maybe you talk about deep things. Maybe you both love nature and hiking and sailing, and you have that connection. For some people, that is their spiritual connection, nature. However, without the fourth element, that alone, that spiritual and the combination of the mind, the body, and the spirit, great aspects of a relationship, but they are not going to get you the relationship you want. The fourth aspect that is the most vital, that is the glue that fits all of these pieces together, is the emotional connection. And as a woman, you have an incredible opportunity to create and invite emotional connection with your feelings. How you share your feelings, how connected you are to your feelings, how much you are able just to experience the moment and express it. And that's so different from expressing ourselves from our head. And I will talk more about this. And if you want to dive into it now, there's the Feminine Communication Masterclass that I will link in the show notes. But in other episodes as well, I will touch on feminine communication and the importance of that. But for now, the emotional connection, and it starts with, my darling, how emotionally connected you are to yourself. How connected are you to yourself, to your feelings, to your desires, to your wants, your needs, to what you're not okay with, to what you feel great about. And the more connected you are to that, the mind, the body, and the spirit almost don't matter. Yes, he's going to be initially attracted to the aesthetic of you, but it is who you are as a person, how you feel your way through life, and how you express that to him. It's going to be unexplainable to him, but he will just feel so drawn to you that it's a no-brainer for him. He just wants to be with you. And you may have very little in common in hobbies. You may have completely different spiritual faith. Doesn't matter. But how does your spiritual faith make you feel? How does being out in nature make you feel? It's that is going to connect him to you far more than anything else, than any of the other elements. How accomplished you are, how clever you are. It's going to be, how do you feel in your work? How do you feel when you're traveling the world? Not the fact that you have traveled the world. So those are the three paths that don't work: the mind, the body, and the spirit. And the path that does work is the emotional connection. How can you give a man a window into you so he sees who you are as a person, your spirit, your individual spirit? So I will absolutely in this podcast be talking more about this. It's been wonderful. I hope this has really helped you, and I'm sure it will help many of you. Please do share these episodes. And I have a free gift for you. It's a video and audio training called The 9 Aspects of the Adored Woman. If you want to get that, I will pop that in the notes below. And I will be waiting for you in the next episode.